not only has it had like bad effects, but it actually was found in the study that kids who had actually witnessed any type of armed conflict during this wartime, they are more likely to go ahead and engage in violent behavior in their lives when they get older, and even as kids, which is something that's really bad, which is something that we of course see in the United States. But of course the kids here in the United States are not saying that they're a little bit more privileged, but then again, they're not out in war how these other kids are. So, youth violence and what we actually need to know about it. So, what are the three main risk factors that I found in this article, which is a whole different article? So, three main factors that I found in this article is one, which is the first one, which is mental health. Two, the access to firearms, which is something that we as adults, we don't always protect our firearms the way that it should, because our suicide rate our suicide rate is so high right now, just because these kids have the access whenever they're feeling depressed and they can deal with their problems. They go ahead, they just grab their parents' gun and they end everything. They kill themselves and all that. um and of course the third main, risk factor for this is social media. So therefore, the exposure to violent media. Everything now, kids are like sponges. That's what I know, because me, as a mother of a 7-year-old, I know that everything that my son sees on TV, he he's like a little sponge. He always tries to do whatever he sees on TV. And this is something that I actually had to sit down with my son and discuss. This is not, even though you see this on TV, it's not something that you should do. And this is where, the bad parenting comes in for a lot of these people, because they don't actually, sit down with their kids and explain to them. Just because you see violence on TV doesn't mean that it's okay to do it. They don't go ahead and discuss that to them, because a lot of these parents, not saying that everybody's a bad parent, but a lot of these parents, they don't think much of it. And this is how it's so much youth violence, because these kids, they see, shows that go ahead and they make them think like, to commit a crime is okay. So in the article of youth violence and what we need to know, this article was actually motivated by the shooting that happened in Connecticut, which of course that I'm pretty sure we all have heard about it, where a 12-year-old man goes into a school, and he kills 20 kids, all children that are in elementary school. And then, he kills a couple staff members, and then he kills himself. So this was a longitudinal study that showed an early and stable strategy of youth antisocial behavior. So, an interesting quote that I found in this article was actually a quote that was taken by President Obama, which says, "We cannot tolerate this anymore. If there's even one step we can take to save another child, then surely we have an obligation to try it." There has to be more things done in order to